Next round. Sir Pierce. That's a terrible hand to start the game, but we have a play. Island into Merfolk. And pass the turn. Not a Gasban Ogre. Okay, Llanowar Elves. I'll gladly trade my Merfolk for your Llanowar Elves. Thank you. The computer does stupid things like that. There's no reason to not just take 1 damage there. Because Llanowar Elves are mana acceleration. There's no reason to trade your 1/1 that can tap for green for my 1/1 that does nothing. Get a swamp. We're still 2 turns away from the Crawworm. Boom. I do wish I had a little bit more business. 3 mana, really? Oh well, you're the boss. That's a real big waste of a fireball there. And Big Daddy Crawl. Hopefully he doesn't have another fireball. So yeah, the computer plays like crap even on the hardest setting. There's no way to... Oh gosh, come on. Please draw an island. That's not an island. I'm not trading my Crawworm for your Crawler. I need an island. I can boomerang. That's not good either. I have so many lands. Clockwork Beast can't hurt me because he doesn't have flying. There's a Clockwork Avian, and I think that one has flying, and it can zoom right over your head. Oh man, he's got a ton of bad guys. And you're not playing Swamp, so my Bog Wraith does not have Swamp Walk right now. Good, you're out of stuff. Okay. Swamp, and you're out of stuff. This is called the creature stall. It's when, it doesn't happen as much, well, I can't say that, because I've seen it happen a lot in real life sealed deck games. But it shouldn't happen. I need a way to deal damage to him real fast. I can get myself a free Gasban Ogre out of the deal. But the computer does not like to attack if there's a chance of one of its creatures dying, unless it's going to win. So... Ooh, Fog. Fog does nothing for me right now. Flood does nothing for me right now. And he gains life. Isn't that wonderful? Alright. There's my second island that I've wanted so much. Unfortunately, it took so freaking long getting here. There's nothing I can do. Dang it. So Creature Stall gets in, and this is where you want to have cards like Brothers of Fire. Brothers of Fire sits back and hits the other guy for 1 damage a turn. And as long as nothing's happening on the board, 1 damage a turn is more than the nothing you'd be doing otherwise. Things like a Rod of Ruin, Prodigal Sorcerer, Brothers of Fire, or if you get really lucky, Aladdin's Ring. Ooh, and a Tog. Elven Riders, there we go. You have no flyers, you have no walls. There it finally showed up. Elven Riders can't be blocked except by flying creatures or walls. And since he doesn't have a flyer and he doesn't have a wall on the board, I may now attack him for 3 damage a turn with impunity. Come on. And even if he does play a creature, well, Radjan Spirit doesn't, but even if he did play a creature that was a wall or a flyer, I'd be able to flood it. Although he now has a whole bunch of creatures. So I'm going to mark that phase to stop. I will now gain control of Gasban Ogre, which I really wanted. And I'm just going to tab Clockwork Beast to death. There we go. He up creatures to the point where he could have just ran at me. Lost a couple guys. Well, Two Brothers of Fire doesn't ruin anything. He's got one, he can have two. And another fog, isn't that wonderful? Elven Riders to the rescue. I should put Phantasmal Terrain into my deck, because that'll at least let me make a swamp when I need it. If I could have hit one of his guys up, one of his lands, turned it into a swamp, I'd be swinging with my Bog Wraith right now, too. Compared to other games, this one actually has real commentary to it. You can provide a constant stream of tactical decision-making. And since I've got a million green mana, stop tapping my islands, you stupid computer. Ooh, you ate your crystal rod, isn't that wonderful? Done. You still don't have a wall, so say hello to Elven Riders. In sealed deck, it's always important to have a... In addition to just being able to ping the guy from behind a wall of creatures, you want creatures with evasion. And evasion are various special abilities that make them difficult or impossible to block. Bog Wraith, for example, has Swamp Walk. Elven Riders, you need to have a flying creature or a wall. Hey, that's a flying creature. So he can make a 3/3 flying creature at any point in time. So what I'm going to have to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in order, because if I attack right now, he's just going to trade his Urza's Avenger for my Elven Riders. So I tap his Avenger. There we go. Swing with the Riders. That's a funny question. If, for example, I were to activate Flood, in current Magic rules, I activate Flood, I target Urza's Avenger. In response, Urza's Avenger plays its ability to grant itself flying. Flood then fizzles. So he would be immune to Flood in current Magic. I don't know the rules exactly. Oh, great. Force of freaking nature. Well, oh, there we go. Phantom Monster. Aren't you wonderful? 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, you're blue. But I can still play Boomerang somehow? Oh man, I've got more land than I thought I did. Never mind. This'll work. I want to flood Urza's Avenger. Thank you. And attack with Elven Riders. Unblockable, wonderful Elven Riders. And the saddest thing in the world is the fact that I'm sitting here with Fog in my hand. I love Force of Nature. He's one of my favorite cards. I used to have, I think 2 of him in an all-green deck, and all I did was sit there and have, you know, nothing but big, huge green creatures, and it would always die to fast decks. But if I was able to bring out a Force of Nature and a Craw Worm and Ironroot Treefolk and Scaled Worm, I kicked so much butt. Alright, step 1. Flood the only guy that can block. Done. Oh, he's gonna do it. And it does fizzle. Okay, so back in the day, it does fizzle. Unfortunately, I don't have a 4th island, so I can't just boomerang him back. Instead, I will pass the turn. Feel free. The sad thing is, if he had just kept attacking me, he probably would have dealt enough damage to me by now to get me down, at least. I mean, constantly attacking me with just big creatures where we're going to trade or something. Alright, so we are going to boomerang the only guy who can block. Yeah, play that. Oh, that sucks. I forgot that he had that guy. Oh well. Ow. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna Psychic Venom one of your forests. Because... because you have Force of Nature and you're gonna have to pay his upkeep cost. And I'll play Llanowar Elves, just cause. Dang, this video is almost over. Yeah, we're gonna go overtime here.